These are two things that Sarah Jake said today that stood out to me. I will post the video link in the description section a little bit later, but I had to do this while it was fresh on my mind. I didn't even make it 5 minutes into this this beautiful woman's I'm gonna say testimony and teachings. Sometimes when you listen to stuff, just because it's an hour long or just because it's 30 minutes long or 5 minutes or 2 minutes, doesn't mean you have to listen to the whole thing. Sit, pause, take time, marinate. And I feel like these two things are things to marinate on. When she said distraction is dangerous, the first thing that came to my mind was the cherry limeade story, which I just shared with y'all yesterday. So if you don't know what the cherry limeade story is, you can go watch the other video. And I will also post that link as well for the cherry limeade. But distraction is dangerous. And she also talked about people and situations and how it can become a distraction, taking focus off of you. Now, for those of you that have followed me, you already know what I'm going to say about this word focus. For those of you that are new to me, the word focus to me, I went through a whole scenario. I got a whole story time on that, but to keep it short, the word focus to me now means progressively moving forward. So anything that is a distraction, right? Anything that's bringing you a cherry limeade situation, anything that is bringing you a situation where you are unable to stand in who you are. Now, I'm saying this specifically to people that are choosing to grow their intuition and their empathy as empaths. Come to mind one. I know they have this in sports, right? And I'm not a sports fanatic, but somebody taught me that there is a phrase that's called take the charge. And I believe it's in basketball. If it's not, please correct me. But I believe it's in basketball and it's called take the charge, right? And when you are taking the charge, you are standing your ground. You are unshakable. You are unmovable, right? And the person that is coming your direction, you stand your ground, you plant your feet. And if that person is coming towards you and you take the charge, in other words, you take the hit, you may fall, but your feet are planted. It's called taking the charge. And the offense is against the other person, right? So sometimes you have to take the charge. Not always. Sometimes you need to move your ass out the way. But sometimes you need to plant your feet and you need to take the charge. What do I mean about take the charge? I mean, like in that cherry limeade situation that I had, right? I trusted someone else over trusting myself when I had an experience where I knew better. I should have stood my ground, right? I should have took the charge in that one, right? So that I can later not have to say, well, I got the charge into the game. For those of you that know what charge into the game means, yay. For those of you that don't know what charge into the game means, charge into the game, simply put, means I'm going to take the L. I'm going to take the loss, right? I got to take it because I knew better going in. It's another way of me saying cherry limeade. Cherry limeade. So distractions are dangerous because distractions can cause you to not focus on yourself. What is a distraction, Tina? By your definition, because you love words, right? You love to change the definitions of things. Distraction is something that is put in front of your face. I'll say that. Or a distraction is something that is put in place of you focusing on yourself. I'll say it that way. A distraction is something that is put in your face, or it is put in place to keep you from focusing on yourself. What is focus? Focus is progressively moving forward. So a distraction is there to keep you from progressively moving forward on the things that you desire to do. In this situation, distractions are dangerous. It can be a situation. It can be a person. It can be a person with the situation. It can be any and all of the above, right? The way to identify what a distraction is if it's something that causes you discomfort, if it is something that causes you confusion. Yesterday we talked about confusion is of the devil, right? We talked about that, and I told you we've been talking about that for the last few years and how that particular statement has impacted my life. So we're going to talk about distractions are dangerous and how the confusion, right, can cause you to not grow your intuition, can cause you to not grow yourself as an empath and trust what you are feeling. People as distractions and situations as distractions, when it is unpleasant and uncomfortable, is here to motivate you to make some type of change in your life, be it a positive change, or if you are having a negative experience and you're having to change that negative experience. Either way, it's here for you to make a change. How do you identify what is for you and what is not for you? Simply put, do you feel good? This thing that you're doing, does it feel good? Yes. Continue, move forward. Does it feel bad? Distraction. You have to go ahead and fix whatever the distraction is. Sometimes people are like, I'm going to avoid for right now this. I think avoidance is good in some practices because it is basically just putting something to the side for the moment so you can continue to focus, progressively move forward on the thing that you want to do. Focus. When you put something to the side and you make a choice to avoid the particular conflict, right? The conflict being, this thing does not make me feel good. Realize that avoidance is just delaying what is due you to resolve later. You got to resolve it later. People avoid some things for their whole life because they don't feel they have the ability to create a solution. If you don't have the ability to create a solution, at that moment it's okay. Sometimes you may need to bring in professionals. You may need to bring in a counselor, a therapist, or a good friend, or a family member, or your spouse. Sometimes coworker. These are things that need to be addressed. The longer you avoid things that you consciously know are there, the more it's going to put stress on your body and manifest through your body and or impair your thoughts process and impair your mind. Right? So enough of that. Distraction are dangerous. Shout out to Sarah Jakes. I appreciate that message. I'm definitely going to go back and listen to the rest of it. Now, the second thing that she said, master your focus and you master your future. I know this sounds simply put, and it is simply put, but for me, it put the places.
There's a stalled vehicle ahead.
But for me, it put everything together. Master your focus. Focus means progressively moving forward. So master progressively moving forward, and you will master your future. don't like to stay in the future. I feel as though I have mastered not being in the past. Great at it, wonderful at it. I'm wonderful with helping people to acknowledge the past, the things that they have avoided, and help them to create solutions so that they can focus, aka progressively move forward. I don't want nobody to stay stuck where they are. That's my way of giving back to the community. Master your focus and you master your future. I'm like, that is the theme of the day. Progressively move forward. What is it? Ask yourself, what is it that you are stuck on right now? What is it that you have avoided? I'm going to encourage you to make a list. We ain't going to make a long scroll like a and it's going to roll out. No. I want you to take your top 3. I don't want you to put them on 3 separate pieces of paper. If you're like me and a visual person, you can utilize your energy, right? Or Reiki, the movement and manipulation of energy, and visualize the 3 pieces of paper. I want you to take those 3. You can title it star, triangle, circle. I don't care what you label it, but put a label on it. And then I want you to put on there or visualize, if you need to write, it's fine. I want you to visualize those 3 things. These are the 3 things that you have been avoiding addressing because the emotional discomfort is funky. You don't like it. You didn't like it. It's okay. Put those down. Now, because you've been avoiding this thing for a minute, I know you saying, Tina, you need to address it, but I want you to watch this. Here's the magic. We're going to put magic. I want you to take those 3 visually and or physically, whichever you choose. And if you're choosing to do this physically, by the way, I want you to pause it right here. If you're watching it live, then cover your ears. But I want you to pause it right here. If you're watching the replay, pause it and come back. Now, if you're visually doing this, which I highly encourage you to do because you're not always going to have access to paper, and we're here to grow your intuition and grow you as an empath with your superpowers of Reiki and or the manipulation and movement of energy. Now that you have those things labeled, you have the issues there, I want you to fold those. Visually, I want you to fold those. 1, fold it over, crease it, fold it over, crease it. Then I want you to visually put each one in an envelope. Whichever one you put, circle, star, triangle, or 1, 2, 3, or ABC, I want you to put that on the front. Visually. Now, with your choice, I want you to take that, and I want you to take those 3 envelopes visually, and I want you to throw them out and push them out as far as you can until you can't see it no more visually. Just push it all the way out there. And some of y'all, it's going to take a little while. But I want you to use the speed of a 100-mile-an-hour baseball being thrown. Just send it out there. But once you send it out there, you can't see it anymore. Then I want you to think, I need the solution to come to me when it's time. And it will come to you. And when the solution comes to you, it's going to come to you in the form of either a vision, if you're a visual person, or it's going to come to you in the form of a spoken word. The spoken word can be verbal or it can be written. But I would highly recommend it to be verbal, because sometimes you need the energy of the person giving giving you that lesson to come out. Because if you are a person that is practicing listening to yourself, listening to your intuition, listening as an empath, and you're doubting yourself, then you need to hear it verbally, and you need to feel the energy coming behind it. If you are intuitive that is open and an empath that is open, and you're listening to yourself, and you acknowledge and validate yourself, this ain't gonna be no problem for you. Now, you're like, Bettina, you told me to physically write this down, and I'm a writer. What? I folded it up, I put it in the envelope, and I put everything on there. Okay, so for those of you that chose to physically write it down, there's two things for your problem that I want you to do. One, either go burn it. You can do that. You can go burn it. Or a practice that I did a long time ago. Find a place in your house, right? Get you some tape. Get you some tape. Or get you one of them sticky things that, you know, it won't run your wall, it won't mess your wall up. Put on one side, and on the other side, stick it on the wall. But I want you to put it in a place that you will never see it, and you'll probably forget about it. Now, I did this. I had a closet. I had one of those fold-up closets at the time where you pull the doors open. And I took it and I put it on the inside wall where it wasn't in my line of sight. And I stuck it back there, right? Wish for that solution to come to you. Leave it there. When the time is right, you'll get your answer. You can go back, you can get that piece of paper, you can burn it, you ain't even gotta open it. Or if you need a reminder of what it was, go ahead and open it and read it if you want to. Me, I highly recommend going ahead and burning it. If you're gonna do this physically, that's what you want to do. You can also use this same practice for your manifestations. They both work. I know I did it on an accident one time, and the manifestation actually happened within the time frame. I had a specific date on there. It was crazy, but that's a story for another day, right? So mastering your focus to get rid of the thought process of distraction is dangerous. We're going to eliminate that. We're going to get rid of that. The thing that you have been avoiding. What is conflict? Conflict means people or situations are not in alignment. And it's okay that it's not. It means it's a conflict. Conflict does not mean yelling, screaming, physical altercations, violence. It means disagreement. It means lack of alignment. That's what it means. And it's okay. It's okay to have that. But remove any fear of disagreement, aka conflict. You have to have the resilience, which you do, because if you're watching this, you're a person that is resilient. If you have the resilience on you, meaning resilience, I have faced a challenge, and even though it was a struggle, even though it was challenging, I made it, right? I made it through the storm. You made it. You are resilient. The challenge did not take you out. You are a conqueror. You are victorious. You are not a victim. You might have been a victim in the situation for that moment, but once the moment is over You are no longer a victim. You are a person that was in a situation that caused you harm, either emotionally, mentally, spiritually, physically, sexually, or financially. But now that that experience is over, it's time for the healing to begin. Removing distractions, resolving conflicts. That's what this means. That's what this means. So, that being said, today's two topics, and I'm about to go back and finish listening to Miss Sarah Jakes. I mean, it ain't even 5 minutes in, and it's the power of her words and what she's saying. I'm just like, I rewinded the first less than 3 minutes like 4 or 5 times because what she's saying is so powerful and it's really hitting hard for me. So I'll make sure that I'll come back and I'll do the edit and I will post the link. Okay, in case y'all want to listen with me. And I would love to hear your commentary. I would love to hear your stories. I would love to hear what your thoughts are. This is not just me talking. It's also me wanting to learn as well. I call everybody teacher students because not only are we teaching each other, but we are also students of each other. And I don't have the answer for everything. I had the answer for most things based on my life experience and the solutions that I have. So any question that you ask me, I'm going to openly answer. But if I don't have the answer, I'm going to tell you that too. I have no problem expressing myself and how I feel. I have no problem with saying I know this or I don't know this. I have no issue. I have no problem. Right? I love you guys. I'm about to get back to it. Y'all have an awesome, amazing day. I will be on if you made it this far. Thank you. I love you. Like, share, comment, subscribe, share with a friend. And even if this whole message, because I don't went on a rant, even if this whole message does not fit for your friend, for your spouse, for your coworker, whoever, right? Your family. Even if the whole thing doesn't fit, say just go listen. Go put it on minute 2 minute and 21 second and listen from here to 4 minutes. Tell them which part you feel like the message is for them. Because everybody ain't gonna listen to the whole thing. But for those that do listen to the whole thing, sometimes listening to that one part will cause them to rewind because they want to know what's forward, or they're going to fast forward because they want to know what's ahead. I love you guys. You have an awesome and amazing day. I appreciate you guys taking the time. If you need a one-on-one session, I got you. Bookwithtina.com. I got to get back in the habit of letting y'all know. Bookwithtina.com. Go back to the front. Watch it. Anytime moving forward, my purpose is to help you not just to listen, but to learn and to actually let's what's the word that I'm looking for? Integrate is a good one, but that's not it. I can't think of the word right now, but I want us to be able to communicate with each other and not just always interactive. I want you to be interactive. This is not just listen. I want you to be interactive. I want you to come back and let me know if you did the assignment, if it worked for you, if it didn't work for you, or let me know, you know what, I actually did try this, or I'm going to try this. And let me know if this changes your life, because this is the most important part of my business. Let me know if it works for you. And if it didn't work for you, let me know that too. If you need to book a one-on-one session so that we can work it out because you need help, that's what I'm here for. I'm here to help to service the community. It's what I love doing. I love it. I love helping y'all because every time I help a person, it helps me. Have an awesome, amazing days. I love y'all. Mwah. Get back to work. I love you.